Welcome to Newsix Podcast for Kids. Today is May 30th, 2026. Imagine being locked away for nearly 3 decades for a crime you didn't commit. That's exactly what happened to 3 men in Philadelphia, Jermell Schuler, Rashid Turner, and Mark Brittingham, who were finally released this week. They were wrongfully convicted of a 1997 murder based mainly on an unreliable eyewitness account. Can you believe it? A judge decided their convictions lacked integrity due to false testimony and flawed forensic evidence. Outside the prison, they embraced their families in emotional reunions, feeling both joy and overwhelm at their newfound freedom. Jermell shared that he just wants to live a normal life now. This case reminds us how crucial it is for justice to be fair and based on strong evidence, showing that resilience can help someone endure even the toughest circumstances. Did you know that a recent study has revealed you might get better results by aiming for just above average instead of shooting for the stars? Researchers created a mathematical model showing that being too ambitious can actually hurt your chances of success, whether in a job search or dating. For example, if you're looking for a job, it's better to have realistic salary expectations than to only chase after sky-high offers. The model found that aiming moderately high rather than too low or too high generally leads to better outcomes. Constantly striving for unrealistic goals can often make you miss out on small successes. So, the next time you go for something big, remember, shoot for the stars, but keep your eyes on the realistic goals that could make you happier and more successful. Great news from Laos. Rescuers have successfully brought the first man out of a flooded cave. This daring rescue was no easy feat. The divers had to crawl through tiny, muddy tunnels filled with murky water. They found the trapped men huddled together on a rocky ledge after a week of being stuck. Imagine climbing out of a cave covered in mud, only to be greeted by cheers. 4 more men are still waiting for rescue, and each mission is a race against time with storms on the way. International teams are working day and night to ensure everyone makes it out safely. Let's hope for more good news soon. Have you ever stood in the serene Al Quwa Desert in the UAE, far away from the bright lights of the city? A group of enthusiastic stargazers, guided by experienced astronomers, are about to reconnect with the universe. They look up at the night sky, filled with countless twinkling stars and the majestic Milky Way. These nighttime adventures are part of the Dubai Astronomy Group's mission to combat light pollution in the UAE, where 99% of the population can't see the Milky Way from home. With telescopes set up and tips on how to capture stunning photographs, this experience blends education and wonder. As the half-moon sets and meteors streak across the sky, these lucky stargazers feel a connection to the past, just like the Bedouins who relied on the stars to navigate the desert. What a magical way to learn about the universe. In an exciting breakthrough for breast cancer treatment, a new genomic test could change the lives of millions of women. Researchers have found that many patients can skip chemotherapy, the harsh treatment that often comes with terrible side effects, like nausea and hair loss, and just use hormone therapy instead. This test examines the genetics of a patient's tumor and informs doctors who really needs chemotherapy and who doesn't. In a trial involving over 4,000 women from countries like the UK and Norway, those with a low test score had almost the same survival rate without chemotherapy. That's an incredible way to improve health while avoiding that rough journey. It's like finding a shortcut to healing. This new method could make cancer treatment much more personalized and effective for everyone. What does this mean for the future of cancer care? Did you know that Kathy Tai, a Canadian entrepreneur, is making waves in biotech? At just 30 years old, she held a grand birthday celebration in Carnegie Hall, showcasing both her musical talent and her ambition. Tai's goal is to modify human embryos to help prevent conditions like cystic fibrosis and hereditary cancers. Unlike her ex-husband's secretive work, she plans to operate openly and legally, emphasizing the potential benefits of gene editing. With strong investments flowing into this technology, what do you think the future holds? Could this be a breakthrough for humanity or a dangerous path? These are exciting times in biotech. Let's jump to our review section. How long were Jermell Schuler, Rashid Turner, and Mark Brittingham in prison? They were in prison for nearly 30 years. What did researchers discover about ambition and success? Aiming for slightly above average goals rather than overly ambitious ones often leads to better outcomes. How many men have been rescued from the cave so far? 1 man has been rescued from the cave. What is the name of the desert in the UAE where people go to stargaze? Al-Qud Desert. What kind of therapy can some breast cancer patients now use instead of chemotherapy? Hormone therapy. What diseases does Kathy Tai aim to help prevent by modifying human embryos? Kathy Tai aims to help prevent diseases like cystic fibrosis and hereditary cancers. As we wrap up today, remember, the possibilities for our future can be as vast as the universe. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and never stop dreaming.